So that means that if interest rates increase by 1%, this bond price will drop by approximately 0.9%. But for the 30-year bond, if interest rates increase by 1%, the bond price is going to plummet by 27%. So you can see that there's a big difference between the sensitivity of a bond with the same coupon, in our example 0, and the maturity. So the longer the maturity, the more sensitive a bond is to a change in the interest rate. Now, it's also true if you fix the maturity. So let's say we fix it at 30 years and consider two bonds. One is a zero coupon bond, and the other is a bond with an 8% coupon. The zero coupon bond has a modified duration of approximately 27. The 8% coupon bond has got a modified duration of approximately 12. So if interest rates increase by 1%, the 30-year bond is going to drop by 27% with the zero coupon, and the 30-year bond with an 8% coupon is only going to drop by 12%. So it's also true that as the coupon increases, the sensitivity of the bond price to a change in interest rate decreases. The maximum sensitivity that you can have is with a zero coupon bond. Now, the mathematical intuition of this is quite simple. With a zero coupon bond, all of your cash occurs in the final period. And that final period is discounted back to the present value by dividing by 1 plus the interest rate raised to the power of the number of periods you're bringing it back. For the 30-year bond, that is quite a large exponent hitting the interest rate. So any small change in the interest rate is going to be magnified by the power of the exponent. So as coupons increase, the sensitivity of the bond price decreases. Okay, and this has to do with the geometric compounding. It has to do with cash coming later rather than sooner. Now, there's a third measure of sensitivity, and it's very much related to the modified duration. Often what we do is we take a particular bond, and let's say it's an 8% coupon bond with 20 years to maturity, and consider what happens if the interest rate increases 1% and decreases by 1%. So suppose the situation is that we've got an 8% coupon bond, and it's got 20 years to maturity, and the current interest rate in the market is also 8%. This bond would be priced at exactly 100. When the interest rate in the economy matches the interest rate on the coupon, then the bond is always priced at 100. Now what we can do is to calculate the price of the bond if interest rates go up by, say, 1%. So rates go from 8% to 9%. Now we know that as rates go up, the bond price should go down. So we can calculate the drop in the bond price. And roughly speaking, the bond price would probably go from 100 to about 92. Then what we can do is calculate the percentage change in the bond price. And obviously, in this example, the prices drop from 100 to 92, which is 8%. Next, what we can do is to calculate what happens if interest rates decrease by 1%. So they go from, say, 8% to 7%. We know as rates decrease, the bond price should increase. So we can go do that calculation and figure out what the percentage change in the bond price would be. And we know the bond price will increase. Next, we take the percentage change in the bond price when interest rates go up and the percentage change in the bond price when interest rates go down by 1% and average the two. This is called the bond price elasticity. And it gives us a measure of the sensitivity of the bond price to a change in the interest rate. It turns out that this measure is very similar to the modified duration measure. It's an approximation to the modified duration measure. And mathematically speaking, as we look at smaller and smaller changes in the interest rate, so instead of going 1% up and 1% down, we go 0.5 up and 0.5 down, or 0.1 up and 0.1 down. As those rate changes get smaller and smaller, we're going to get closer and closer to the modified duration measure. So often we calculate price elasticity and modified duration and use the two terms interchangeably. So these measures, the modified duration and the price elasticity, are useful measures for assessing the sensitivity of the bond price to a change in the interest rate. It gives the bond an extra characteristic that is quite useful for an investor. It's one thing to know the maturity, one thing to know the coupon, another thing to know the price. But the question is, what happens to the price of this bond if interest rates increase by, say, 1%? Having the modified duration and having the price elasticity give us the information that we need to assess the sensitivity.